Welcome back to the channel, and today I have 11 new knives to share with y'all. So we're going to jump right into it, or really 10 because this isn't a new knife. This right here is the Knives Banter Desert Warrior Edition, and I have these beautiful Civivi aluminum scales, and these scales, in my opinion, completely transformed this knife. I threw it on my Desert Warrior Edition because my original Banter was one of the first runs that they ever made, and it did not fit these for some reason. I think they changed something up, but glad these worked. And once again, he absolutely nailed it. They're still nice and lightweight. He pockets them out. And if you don't know who this is the same guy who made these scales for the Civivi Vision FG. It's the diamond textured aluminum scales that go over the stainless steel liners. Yeah, absolutely love this one. Whenever I bought these, I had said that I think they look great, but being that they're over the stainless steel liners, they did make it kind of hefty. But the Civivi Vision FG is a little bit hefty and not always a bad thing. But after he heard me say that, he reached out to me and said, hey, I made you another set of scales. These are fragged this time, and this thing weighs absolutely nothing because these are linerless aluminum scales that have been heavily pocketed out. And he even put the channel name right here, Stasa 23, a part of it right there. So yeah. Top quality aluminum scales. He offers tons of different patterns, finishes. He's even getting them coated now. He does these 3D printed CNC, and yeah, sky's the limit for him. He also has other cool stuff on his Etsy shop. If you're interested in any of these type of scales, I will have his information linked down in the description, but just take a look at that. It offers a perfect amount of texture, and I went with these because I've never had something in the Civivi pattern, or however you say it. I thought it looked really interesting. It's got such a crazy look to it when you move it around, that three-dimensional look, and then it looks like waves bouncing off of waves. Yeah. And I think it looks great with the Desert Warrior with that blue blade and all the crazy hardware. So I'm not mad at this. You even got a little pop of color with that liner right there. So let me know what y'all think about these new scales and what you think about these in general. This right here is CJRB Hectare, and I reviewed the regular version, not this crazy looking one, a while back on the channel, and I absolutely love the Hectare. It's an excellent knife for the money, super lightweight, versatile blade, RPM 9 steel, G10 with heavily skeletonized inset liners. Well, now they have an all new Hectare-Alt. And even though I don't like these type of scales, it's the carbon fiber G10 laminate. It's just a thin piece of carbon fiber that is laminated to G10 scales. Excellent action, same length and everything, just different blade shape, same steel. And for size reference, here it is next to the Alt Pyrite. So they're pretty much the identical size, except the blade on the Hectare is taller, and you have the crossbar lock instead of the button lock. I'll be honest, I prefer all day, every day, a crossbar lock over the button lock. They're just a much more sturdy lock. Even though this one is, I mean, just listen to this. Yeah, awesome. These just released. They'll be available on the CJRB site and on their Amazon store. The Amazon store, they're listed for $67. However, there is a 25% off discount coupon underneath it. We click that. It'll make it $50, and I think for $50, I think that's an excellent price. Number 3 is another one coming from Holtzman, Guerrilla Survival. For some reason, they will not name their knives. I hate that. They have a lot of models, and yeah, they have a bunch of folders. So all I can tell you is a front flipper version, thumb hole front flipper, and it comes with this crazy looking gorilla bead there, and the little snake knot tied to it. Outstanding action, nice and comfortable. It's a full-size knife. I think it's 8 and some change overall. I thought the overall aesthetics were really good looking. And when I got this, I feel like I've seen a design that looks very similar to this one. Maybe a Heretic. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like I've seen something that is very similar to this. I hope it's not, identical, but what do y'all think about this one? I've always enjoyed the Holtzman Guerrilla Survival stuff. They perform really well. They have great action on the folders. The fixed blades have held up really well. Number 4, we have one coming from HOKC. I've been seeing their knives on Amazon for a long time, and a lot of them looked interesting. And a buddy of mine picked one up, and he said he really liked it. So I figured, why not? You have textured G10 scales. There's a bail on the end of this one and a part spin clip. Don't love that, but I do like the overall knife. So you have flipper, outstanding action, riding on bearings. And once again, I did not read the specs, and this thing is a pocket sword. It's got an over 4-inch blade here, D2 steel. And yeah, I think this is a Russian company if I remember correctly. But yeah, so far, I'm pretty impressed because this knife right here costs 26 bucks. And for 26 bucks, yeah, I would say this is worth it. I've seen some really crazy looking ones coming from them. They also make some fixed blades. And I'm going to test this one out. We'll see how this one does. So number 5, we have the Knives Attor. This right here is a Dahlberg Bergam design custom knife maker that I've been following from the very beginning. When I first got into the YouTube scene 12, 13 years ago, I saw some guys that I watched bought his customs, and at that time, his customs were like 400 bucks. Good luck trying to get them 400 bucks now. Well, this one has, I think, my favorite knives finish now. They're calling it their polished gray. It's kind of like a smoke look. It looks absolutely stunning. This is a titanium integral, nice contouring. When I say this handle is super comfortable, you have a compound ground, 20 CV blade, same finish there, mill tie pocket clip. Pretty massive clip, but I'm okay with it. Beautiful action. Let me know what y'all think about the Attor. It's definitely a pricey knife because it's an integral and it's coming from so you know it's top-notch quality. If you're interested in this one, like I said, I'll have it linked down in the description. I think they're available still. This next knife is pretty amazing, and I got to thank Tactile Knife Co. for sending this one in. So we have the Tactile Knife Co. Mariner 2. And if you don't know about this design, this is a Bob Trezzola design that he designed like 30 years ago, something like that. And Tactile remade it for him in a version 2. And they did a good job of following pretty much the same form factor. And the cool thing about this knife is, and why I wanted to check it out besides I like the overall profile of this knife, is that whenever I first got into knives or really started searching out knives, I could barely afford a $30 knife, much less a knife that was over 100 bucks. So I was lucky enough to have a friend that was a little bit older than me and had a lot of disposable income, and he actually had one of these custom Bob Trezzola Mariners in his collection, and I used to drool over that thing all the time. Just, I mean, to me, it was the coolest knife I had ever seen, and I had no idea how rare those knives were. I think he only made 50 of them, and like I said, my buddy had one. Now, I don't think my buddy still has it. I've reached out to him. We hadn't talked in a while. He moved away. But it was cool knowing that I got to experience this custom version of this knife. So I really, really wanted to check this out. Now, it's been many years now, so I don't remember exactly, you know, how that one felt or how the action was on that one. But I do remember how much I wish I had that knife at that time. And now I'm going to be testing this Tactile Knife Co. Mariner in Magna Cut steel. It's an interesting knife. It's got super buttery smooth action on this thing. And I've been carrying this one ever since it came in. I think I've been having it for a little over a week now. And it's been in the pocket every single day, along with maybe another folder in the other pocket. But yeah, stay tuned for this full review. This next guy's knives are probably my most recommended EDC fixed blades to check out. An EDC fixie coming from Tactical Pterodactyl. This is his mini Unnamed. And once again, I'm going to start reading specs. I promise you, I had no idea how tiny this thing was. Now, it's not his fault. He makes 2 versions that are bigger than this one, but I still love it. I'm guessing it's either Kydex or Boltron. I can never tell the difference between the two. Camouflage color. And this is the second knife that I've seen like this to go in there and grab it, I guess. Only thing I've noticed about these is they tend to get a little bit of rattle to them. So, here's the knife. It has textured micarta scales on this one. Full tank construction. I get about a 3 and maybe a half finger grip. You do have a lanyard hole. And this right here is money. And this one is in CPM Magna Cut steel at 6364 HRC. So like I said, my bad. I'm definitely going to start paying attention to specs. I definitely would like to get one of his. I think he makes like, this one right here is only 4.9 inches. He makes one that's like 6 and then one that's a little bit larger, like 7 something. Definitely high quality, and I will be testing this one out whenever I get a chance. But being that I purchased this one, you know, it's going to be at the back of the line. That's just how it has to go, being that I have obligated videos that I have to do. A guy emailed me. He follows the channel and he has somewhat of a similar story. He was a full-time firefighter that got hurt on the job, kind of like I did, and he couldn't go back to work, so he started making knives, and he asked me if I would want to check out one of his knives. So went on the site, and this is the one I picked. So once again, I don't know if this is maybe Boltron. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Boltron or Kydex. But it's one of those sheaths where the knife can be flipped around both ways. It's got I'm pretty sure that's a discrete carry concept clip on there. And it's interesting how he did the retention on here. So this is coming from Armis Knife and Tool. This is his mini VSK. And I picked this one because this was the smallest model he had. And, you know, I'm looking for an EDC fixed blade. So you got some nice retention in there. He's got like some hook and loop right there that I'm guessing is helping with the retention. And here's the fixed blade. Kind of has like a auxiliary manufacturing vibe, kind of like something they would do. Got nice thick G10 scales, 5/32 chunky stock. And, you know, this is definitely geared more toward like a self-defense blade. Not something I usually go for, but I might do a few piercing tests with it, but I'll probably be testing it as a EDC fixed blade. So I'm sure it's not going to be the most slicey because it's got such thick blade stock and a sharp grind height. It feels rather thick, but it's definitely high quality. USA made. The guy makes them by hand. I love the finish. AEBL steel. There's his maker's mark right there. So I'll test this one out and stay tuned for my full review. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I will put his information in the description as well. We have my first knife from Reiff Knives. This right here is a brand new model for them. This is the Circadian. Comes with this leather sheath and my favorite pocket clip attachment, the 3x3 slim multi-clip. Nice thick quality leather sheath with the Reiff Knives logo in there, made in the USA. All their stuff is sourced in the US and made here in the US. Kind of looks like it could be a clip point there. These scales are just as comfortable as I remembered them to be. Look at that. Beautiful contouring. And I love, they blast their micarta. This is green, OD green canvas micarta. And just like Giant Mouse does, when you blast it, it brings out the material more, causing it to be super grippy. This thing is perfect in my hands, nice and lightweight. CPM Magna Cut. I'll have to go back and watch that video, but if I remember correctly, whenever I was asking him questions, I think he said that they put like a 20-degree per side edge bevel in their knives, if I remember correctly. And if so, that is awesome. It's going to perform very, very well. Nice jimping up top. So that's the first one. I think these actually dropped today. So if they did and I find them available, I will link them. Sorry if they're not. The second one is from Reiff as well. This is the F3. This is the first knife that kind of caught my eye from them. Comes with this 2-part sheath, belt clip attachment. I will definitely slap an Ulti-clip on this. And even though it's a 2-part sheath, it's still fairly minimal here. Nice retention there. And then look at these scales. You got a Coke bottle shaped micarta on this one. Got a nice swell right here. Fills out the hand perfectly. And even though it's a small blade, I still get a nice full 4-finger grip on it. This one is a drop point with a blasted stonewash finish, which I don't mind because this one is also in CPM Magna Cut steel, so I'm not worried about it rusting. These are natural canvas micarta scales. And it looks like they still sandblast these, but these have, you can see like how deep it went in. So these are even grippier. Both of these are awesome. Now, these are pretty high quality USA made fixed blades, so they're definitely not cheap. But after testing them, I'll let y'all know my honest opinions. And that's all they said they want me to do is give them honest opinions and feedback. Only thing that this one's missing is a little bit of jimping here. Maybe would have been great here, but it's definitely not a deal breaker for me. I could always put some jimping if I wanted to. Look at that. Nice sharpening choil. Yeah, these are two absolute beauties. Let me know what y'all think about these two. Do any of y'all own any knives from Reiff Knives? Just as impressed as I was when I first went check them out at Blade Show. Y'all saw this recently. This right here is the Kizer Muskrat. This version is the coated D-tube with the G10 scales. I gotta say, I absolutely love this little EDC fixed blade. And I got to meet the designer, D. Sharon. Here's one of his stickers. I got to meet him at Blade Show, talk with him, and we kind of, both of us geeked out over EDC fixed blades. And I just finished testing this D2 version. Well, he knows how much I like micarta, so he wanted me to have one of the micarta variants. And I didn't even realize that the G10 coated is D2, and this version with the linen micarta scales and the stonewashed blade is 154 cm steel. So, like I said, I finished testing this one the other day. I'm going to test this one as well. I want to see if there's any major difference. Their D2 is pretty darn good. I don't think it comes with, I think he might have put that on there. It looks really, really good. Just a nice compact little EDC fixed blade. I forgot, these are very affordable. I don't remember what the 154 cm ones are. Besides, you know, showing this new one, the reason I brought these on here, after I finished reviewing these, me and D. Sharon Designs were talking, and being that he sent me this one, we're going to do a giveaway for the D2 version, but I'll let y'all know how to enter after the review of this knife. So definitely stay tuned. If you're wanting to get in on the giveaway, make sure to check out this review. I'd hope y'all would check it out anyway, but even if you weren't planning on it and you want to win a really sweet EDC fixed blade, make sure to check that video out so you can see how to enter. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Here's another shot of all of them. Look how tiny that little thing is. I mean, $2.90. Still going to have a lot of fun with that one. It's going to be a very easy one to carry. Definitely going to be a pocket fixed blade from me. Let me know what you think about all these. All right, guys and girls, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Hey!